All right, 7th graders. Lesson 2-3 is about simplifying by combining like terms. What operation do you think we mean by combining? Adding, right, adding like terms. So we're going to have to insert plus sign in order to add like terms. That's the first thing, okay? Then, what are like terms? Or what's a term in math? A term in math. It's kind of like a term in literature, a term in language arts. Yes?
It's a number or an expression for a number.
Yep, it's a number or an expression for a number. Okay? Just like a term is like a word in a sentence. A sentence is made up of a bunch of words, or it could be one word. Some words have lots of letters, some words have one letter. The word A is one letter, right? Math sentences are also made up of terms. The terms can be just one number, like 6, or it could be one letter, N, or it could be a combination of letters, like X, Y, Z could be one term. Okay? 7A is a term. 4B is a term. 1N is a term. And the number 6 is a term. When the term is just a number, we call that a constant term because the value of that doesn't change. Okay, 6 only means 6 of something. It doesn't mean 10. It doesn't mean another number. So we call that a constant term. But if the terms have a variable, or the terms are a variable, or they have a variable in them, then we call them, what kind of terms do you think? What do you think we call, not constant terms, but what? What do you think we call those? The ones with letters in them.
Oh, I know.
Yeah? What do you think?
I want to say like terms.
Not like terms, not yet. We're getting to like terms. They're just called variable terms. So we have two types of terms, constant terms and variable terms. Okay? These are variable terms. This is a constant term. Does that make sense? The variable terms have letters. And the values can vary. That's why we call them variables. Does that make sense? All right. So, when you have a bunch of variable terms, sometimes you can combine them. You can add them. Which ones can you add? Which ones can you add, Regan?
The one with the same variable.
Exactly, the ones with the same variable. And the same power of the variable. In other words, 3x, like x to the, this could be written as x to the first. 3x and negative 5x are like terms because they're both x terms. They both have the same variable, and the variable has the same power. Okay? Well, you mean like if this was x squared, then we couldn't add it? That's exactly what I mean. But it's not x squared, it's just negative 5x. Okay? What other like terms are there in that math expression? Which other terms are like terms, Kate?
2n and 3n.
2n and 3n. And what would you do with those? Add them. 2n plus 3n is 5n. So when we simplify this expression, you can simplify it to this. 5n plus negative 2x. Where did the negative 2x come from? I think
3 negative 5, so 15.
exactly. Yep. 3 plus negative 5. When you add these two numbers, you get negative 2. And so if you have positive 3x's and negative 5 x's. The negative x's cancel out the positive x's, and you're left with negative 2 left over. That's where that negative 2x comes from. Okay? It looks like this. Yeah, let's say the blue ones are positive, so this is positive 3x, and the red ones are negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is negative 5x. Okay? And just like in science, like the negatives cancel out the positives, that happens in math too. So these cancel each other out. And these cancel each other out. And these cancel each other out. You know why? It's like negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. And you're left with negative 2.
X.
Negative 2x, or negative 2x's. Okay? So that's what it looks like. That's what you can imagine when you're adding like terms. Look at this one. Look at this example. This has a bunch of negatives in it. How would you add these? Lift?
Negative x, and then just write the 2 minus signs and do a plus 3x.
Yep.
And then minus 6.
Yeah, so negative 5z, that's actually a z. We tried to make it a z. Negative 5z plus 3z is negative 2z. Yep. And then, what do you still have in that expression? What do you do with this negative 6? What do you do with that negative 6 that's left? Neat? Well, do you put it in the answer? Or do you just...
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Just put it in the answer. Now, put the plus sign here. The reason you put the plus sign is so that you can add the numbers and like skip over terms to add them. It's kind of like rearranging the numbers. And why can you rearrange the numbers? Why can you rearrange the order of the numbers when you add? Megan? Remember in lesson 1 we talked about those properties, those rules? Which one says that you can rearrange the order of the numbers? Commutative property, right? This is the commutative property. It all makes sense. Lesson 1, commutative property, associative property. Lesson 2, distributive property. So we know where these things will come from. Okay? And then lesson 3, how to add like terms. All of these things that we're learning are going to help you to solve equations later, to find the answers, or to find the value of the variable in the equations. Go to your worksheet. Let's practice adding some like terms. Okay? Skip the top part again. The top part is confusing and really is not necessary for your understanding.
Just cancel that out.
So, let's go right to number 3. Right to number 3. What do you have to put in before you can rearrange the order of the numbers and add them? What do you have to insert into here in order to be able to add them? Nate? A plus sign, right. Now, add the like terms. Jack? 12a plus negative 10a.
2.
2A. You are paying attention. And what do you still have in the expression? No, we already used that.
4.
4. What do we do with that?
Add it.
Can we add 4 to 2A?
Sure.
Matt, why did you say sure? Can you add those?
Yeah.
But 4 is not 4 A's, it's just 4. So is that like the 2 A's? Are those like terms? Can you add 4 plus 2A? Nope. So you just leave it separate. And the answer is 2A plus 4. That is as simplified as you can get. You can't add 2A plus 4, so you just leave it. You leave them separated. Okay? Liv.
For number 4, how do you minus x? So it would just be regular 7 then.
Well, first of all, you have to insert a plus sign, so you're not doing minus, you're adding negative. Then you think of this as a positive x. So 1 positive x and 7 negative x's. And 1 positive x would cancel out 1 negative x. And how many negatives are you left with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, negative 6x. And what else is left in the expression? The 7, plus 7. Negative 6x plus 7.
I'm confused.
One way you can think of this is,
Where did you get the 6 from?
well, the original problem was x plus negative 7x. Now, so there's not a number in front of the x, so that's just 1x. And if that's just 1x, and this is negative 7x, 1 positive takes away 1 negative, and we're left with negative 6.
It will be 7 plus negative 6.
Or negative 6x plus 7, yep.
I don't get number 3 either. How did you get 2 instead of
12a plus negative 10a. There'd be 2 positive a's left over. Liv?
So for number 5, are we doing the thing like we had to do yesterday?
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to next. So now we have a number outside of the parentheses, and we know what to do with that. 2n plus negative 8 plus 3 and then we can simplify that to
Did you get negative 8?
2 times negative 4.
There's one 2 times negative 4.
Well, yeah, there is. When you multiply over parentheses, you multiply 2 times n and then 2 times
So confusing.
negative 4, which is what we did yesterday. See, this is all building on each other, okay? We're just simplifying. Now, can we simplify that even more?
Yes.
Are there numbers we can still add because they're alike? Yeah. The negative 8 plus 3. Right. So we can combine that to be negative 5. Your simplified answer then is 2n plus negative 5.
Do we have to do that
For every single one. Yep. Simplify it as much as possible.
Well, are we just doing
Number 6. Multiply negative 3a plus negative 15 plus 9, and that equals negative 3a plus negative 6. Where did the negative 6 come from? Bennett? Bennett. Where did the negative 6 come from? A negative 15 plus 9. Yep. Look. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. And negative 15 plus 9 is negative 6. Write that down. You want extra homework? Make a smart choice. You're choosing to just sit there. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Number 7. Multiply over the parentheses. NY plus 5. Where did the 5 come from, Andreas? Andreas? Yeah, 5 times 1. 5 times 2y is 10y. 5 times 1 is 5. Yeah. Insert a plus sign, so we have plus negative 7y. And then simplify that. Liv?
It's negative 3y
It's
5. 3y. Wait.
Positive 10 and negative 7.
I meant red.
Positive 3y, right?
Mm-hmm. And then on our quiz, are we going to be able to use a calculator?
To multiply? No. All you're doing is multiplying over the parentheses.
What about like adding and minusing?
Listen, on your quiz tomorrow, you do not have to, you don't have to add like terms yet. I'm not going to test you on that yet. I want you to practice that for tomorrow. So it's just multiplying. Just multiplying over parentheses, yep. All right, number 8, and then I'm going to let you do the rest on your own. 2 times 4 plus 2 times negative 3t minus negative equals plus 3 plus 2t, which is negative 4t, because negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4, and 8 plus 3 is 11. All right, your homework. 9 through 14, and one. Let's do. Let's just do 1 through. Yeah, just finish this side. We'll do the other side tomorrow. We're going to spend some time identifying those terms tomorrow, okay?